raincoat so that you wouldn't be drenched. This is your safety Amazon Fayo Williams, and of course I am not alone. I have someone with me who's going to dissect the topic for today. And what is the topic? It is breaking the limit. What speeding will cost you? Breaking the limit. What speeding will cost you. So there are a lot of costs. It's not only monetary. There are plenty of consequences to speeding. And today, I have with me someone who's the chief instructor of Steer Right Driving School Limited. He started the school as an intervention to driving safety and the menace of terrible, bad driving on the road. He's using it to contribute to the shaping of driving culture in Lagos and Nigeria as a whole. He's an advocate of road safety, partners with reputable road safety NGOs, government agencies, and private organizations. He's someone who features in media houses to add value to road safety discussions. Now, the gentleman with me has organized several events to commemorate the World Day of Remembrance for road traffic victims. You don't want to be part of these statistics. He's focusing on the full spectrum of the audience required to take action. He's a great adventurer, a super biker, and has traveled across 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria and visited some African countries, Otiu, on that bike too. Some people will say on top of Okada, you visited Mexico, USA, and Canada. Oh my gosh. So this is someone who's highly adventurous and is an active citizen who looks forward to contributing to the project New Nigeria. Lagos, join me in welcoming Akinfe Samuel Babatunde. He is a brother because this is not the first time of his coming to safety training. Sam, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, Lagosians.
As you say, Eko ni Bajena, just add greeting in your lingua franca. Because Sam, I don't know where you are from, but you have to speak your dialect. Hey, oh serious? Ondregi.
Yes, sir.
Is that the greeting?
I'm a Leo de Diamondo.
Okay. What is the response?
Yeah, you can respond as
Hey, this is another one I have learned today.
Yes, sir.
It's awesome, man. The number of nationalities, the little, different ethnic groups we have in Nigeria, and it makes us very flavorful, if I can put it that way. So, Sam, let's just go into the meat of this discussion. What is speeding? After all, we need to move on the road. We got places to go. We have to be at work at a certain time. So what exactly is speeding? And what are the common causes that lead to drivers exceeding the speed limit and breaking the limit, as we have alluded to in our topic? Breaking the limit. What speeding will cost us?
So when you go into science, speed is the rate at which someone wants to move. Okay, but now when you move to speeding, speeding is moving quickly.
Moving quickly.
All right. So you have a vehicle. Probably I can't trek to work because I work in Lekki, so I need a vehicle, right? Okay. Yep. I need a vehicle so that I can get to work on time. But when it now comes to speeding, you want to move quickly. All right. So there are a lot of incentives to why people want to move quickly. All right. Is it that probably you're running late, you have an appointment, okay, you want to avoid some kind of congestion that there are certain times the road is going to be congested. So you want to move quickly. You want to get to work on time.
Or if I'm Yankee Bravo, I want to go and to turn and quickly do turn around.
Yeah, so exactly. Maybe you want to make more money. Maybe at peak period or when you have a lot of passengers, if that applies to those who are commercial buses or commercial vehicles, right? Another times, unfortunately, it has also become like some of our culture that we are like 11th hour, you are going to the airport, your lastminute.com, you need to do some makeups, and while you are doing the makeups, you are packing your luggages, then things has gone haywire. All right.
And you're very, very late.
And you are very, very late. Then you want to cut corners, you throw cautions to the wind. Then at that moment, you want to break the speed limit.
Which
all right.
is So
Yeah.
So now let's look at the consequences. How does speeding and breaking the speed limit affect a driver's reaction to time? E.g., a child runs across the road after a ball, or an animal strays into your path. How does this speeding, affect the driver's reaction time and ability to really control the vehicle?
Okay, so the first thing is you talked about perception time. Okay, for you to brake, you must be able to see. All right, so
and
act. So you have perception time. So you can see the object, you can see the child, you can see the situation you are trying to maneuver away from. So that talks about your perception time. Okay, but now you have reaction time. That you see something is different from how you are responding to what you are seeing.
Wow.
Okay, so because there's a whole lot of factor. You might see it very late. Okay, so now that's where speeding now comes in. If you speed too much, the likelihood, the timing for you to be able to perceive might be very difficult. All right, so you perceive, then you react. Okay, now when you now react, your reaction now might be, okay, turn to the right to avoid an object or brake. Okay, now you talked about there's going to be a braking distance, because when you slam on your brake, your vehicle is not going to come to a halt at the same time. All right, so that culminates to what you call your stopping distance. So you have perception distance, you have your reaction distance, you have your braking distance, and then that will determine how quickly you can stop. So imagine if you are at a very high speed, your stopping distance is going to be higher than when you're on a low speed. Okay, if you are carrying, all right, if you are, for example,
you need to give more allowance
than
when you are at a low speed.
If you're also carrying so much load, maybe, for example, a 33,000 liters tanker, if it's empty, the stopping distance is going to be different from when it is fully loaded.
Wow.
All right, so if you and now when the weather is different, if your vision is impaired,
the road is more slippery,
or it's raining, you have a blurred vision, or the person has just finished taking some bottles of alcohol
under the influence.
Yeah, and that is impairing his sight,
his
judgment. So that is going to affect the stopping distance by affecting the perception, the reaction, and then maybe your brake also is not in a good way.
Oh my gosh.
So there are a whole lot of factors that is involved when, for example, an incident called a crash occurs that you can trace back to speeding.
Yeah. So at this juncture, Sam, we need to now talk about legal consequences for exceeding speed limits. And recently there's been a lot of talk, and a lot of action on the part of the Lagos State government. We've been hearing things like, the speed limit on Third Mainland Bridge is 80 kilometers per hour. Hey, but Sam, surely work, abiko le work. Because I am wondering, will people be able to maintain that 80 kilometers per hour? Can you talk a little bit about this?
So I think you arrive at the speed limit. There's a whole lot of factors. There are scientific factors. There are economic reasons. Okay, and you don't want to put a speed limit that is going to be a bottleneck that people will find it difficult to stay within. All right.
To comply with.
Yeah, if you go to the States, there are some places that even the speed limit, maybe you have 70 miles per hour, okay, which is about 66, is about 100 kilometers per hour. All right, so you have some that goes up to about 80 miles per hour. All right, you can say our environment is peculiar, but there are a lot of things to look at, because many of the time it will be shocking that what causes crash is not overspeeding.
Not alone.
No, I'm going to explain that. Not overspeeding.
Let's listen to you.
Because operating your vehicle within speed limit also is dangerous. All right, and I'm going to explain, because the probability that a child or a human being will survive a crash above 30 kilometers per hour is very slim. So if you hit a child below 30 kilometers per hour, there's a likelihood that that child or that person will survive it. So even when you are driving within the speed limit, okay, it's still dangerous. So where I'm going now is that it's not overspeeding that causes issue, it's inappropriate speed. Because what people say is that, the government says I can do 80. Now you are doing 80 when you can barely see under heavy rain. They say, oh, 80 is the speed limit. All right, so that is where the science.
Your vehicle condition is not
that is
okay. You are still doing the 80.
All right, so number one thing is that even when we fix speed limit, we want to make sure that it is comfortable, it's convenient, okay, is the best practices along such corridor. Globally acceptable, that this is the minimum speed for this type of road.
Okay, hold your thoughts, Sam Akinfe. We've been having this interesting discussion, but now it's time for a traffic update.
All right, you're still tuned to Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. The program is Safety Train. The roads are wet at this time. You want to please keep it within the speed limit, especially those areas where we have it drizzling at this time. Obafemi Awolowo Way, I mean, it's quite wet. Latif Jakonde, Ikeja axis, so please let's keep it that way. The roads are still looking very good, but then the narrative is fast changing on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. From what I can see here, Ifako inward Ogudu is already a steady one. The course of this I cannot ascertain at this time, but I can confirm to you that inward Alapere MRS is totally free. So, Oluwa and Adenuga, if you're listening, to let me know if there is anything obstructing the flow of traffic ahead of these vehicles heading inward Alapere.
Thank you very much for staying tuned to the Safety Train on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. I have been having an exciting discussion with Akinfe Samuel Babatunde. We are looking at the topic, breaking the limit, what speeding will cost you. You can contribute to this discussion by dialing 0809 9120 777. You can also send a WhatsApp message to that number, or in the alternative, you can dial 091 5387 7127. I'll say that again, 091 5387 7127. Join the discussion and let's look at the concept of speeding. What are the speed limits? And Sam, what kind of wuru is Lagos State government using to know who was doing the speeding and who was not doing the speeding? Is it something that flies by night? I want you to break it down, because my Yankee Bravo will say, "Ba no sheri mi, Nibo," and all that. So I need you to tell us the wuru that is there, that is making Lagos State know that somebody is speeding.
So there's you deploy technology, right? You deploy technology. Like Lagos State, I think the commissioner said they've deployed quite a number of automatic number plate registration in several corridors number plate recognition, so that when you actually want to capture a defaulter, you can capture what vehicle it is. All right.
Oh my God.
So you have a whole lot of technology that has been deployed that you can capture. At what speed is this possible? There are some areas when you're driving towards them, they will tell you that you are running at this speed, and it will tell you to. Yeah, you have a lot of radar. A lot of people deploy that just to create awareness that you're actually moving too fast. So, and you see the red light is going to flash and ask you to do what? To slow down. All right, you slow down. Okay, but you can also be captured. It's just the way you use a door when you walk towards
an automatic door.
Yeah, and
the way it opens, then you say, "Show me Mirini."
Yeah, so it's not magic. It's not spiritual.
It's not spiritual. It's not magic.
It's technology.
Technology.
Yeah, it's technology. So the same way, there are technologies that can pick your registration plate, your vehicle numbers, and trace it to the owner. All right. So and this is how it is done overseas. When such is captured, they can actually drop a notification by SMS or in your email that is registered that you have flouted so and so
at so time.
Hey,
but we know they get that one here. And this is part of the complaint I have to whoever the powers that be. Because by the time you now go to VIO to go and update your papers, they will now tell you that there is one something that you broke. And you have to pay a fine of, is it 20,000, is it 50,000?
So the system,
you don't think it's witch hunting.
Witch hunting, all right.
So what can we do about this lack of notification?
we need to complete the circle of the technology, all right? So that, because when it comes to technology, like when you take photographs.
Oh yes.
When you buy bara.
I see.
You understand?
Photo, not
So,
the line.
so if you are smiling, you are not going to see yourself weeping or frowning. So the same way when we are deploying technology, we have to deploy it in the whole circle of it. All right, such that such person is notified, so it's not like you said, it's not winch hunting.
Exactly.
The person also is prepared that okay, I think this penalty has happened and is coming up.
Let
and
me go and
looking at the economic crunch people are facing, okay, you don't want people to take laws into their hands because they need to pay a penalty. So it should be a balance of a punitive and also creating awareness for people. Well, I've not gotten such a ticket before, so I don't even know what it looks like. All right, so but I think it's very careful. I think it's proper actually for us to have such cycle complete.
No, because some car owners, you know, they could send certain people on errands, maybe their drivers or their PAs or whatever,
or their mechanic.
Yes, or their mechanic. And you know, if these people incur the what we call it now, the fine on their behalf, it becomes very, very painful. But I think we have a caller. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, good evening, Elder Tawagbade. You are welcome, sir. Thank you so much. Yes.
I did our guest over there.
Oh.
Good evening, sir.
He's hearing
Thank you, sir.
What's your take?
My own understanding.
Yes, sir.
We need more training for our drivers. Maybe yearly or 2 years, they should come for training. You get what I mean?
Yes.
To meet up with the new technology coming out. They need more training.
Thank you. That is a very valid point. I will allow our guest to respond because he also, you know, is an instructor.
So I think I think that is very critical in the sense that when you look at the ease of driving, okay, you can
jump into the car.
Before you do enforcement, okay, you have to do education.
True.
Okay, that's why you have engineering, you know, you have education, you have enforcement because before you not have emergencies. So if we're actually going to enforce so that the populace won't see our effort as if it's just money making, punitive or raising IGR, we have to create enough awareness that people are aware that okay, this is what is necessary. Okay, you are saving lives, so that should be in the front burner. We have a whole lot of road safety NGOs through radios, traffic radios, doing a whole lot. Okay, so we need to keep that awareness in the air that people are aware that technologies are deployed. You know, you can't run away. You can't escape it. You can't escape it. Yeah.
So, but I do know that sometimes I am on that third mainland bridge or in other parts of Lagos, and I see these daredevil drivers, you know, becoming so reckless at a speed that is totally inappropriate for that part of the road. And my question is, you know, how can we encourage a shift in drivers' mindset towards safer speeds? You know, even as you are approaching any type of junction, the way I was taught is that you must slow down. But you have people who race through, they are almost taking off in their vehicles. So how can we encourage that shift in mindset?
I think motorists should understand that the road is we have a shared responsibility on the road. Okay, so you are not on the, if you want to race in Formula One, maybe they'll probably go and join Ferrari, Mercedes, and the likes of them.
To Germany and
go on Autobahn. You know?
Exactly. Then so, you can be free.
And you should be able to do that. But when we come on the road, we don't have many private roads in Nigeria. So when you have a road that is being used, then there's a responsibility on us. Okay? Because if anything happens, number one, you want to go catch a flight. If anything happens, you go nowhere. Oh, maybe you have a board meeting, you have an interview. If anything happens, you are stuck. Okay?
And the board meeting will continue.
Yeah, so but at the end of the day, the person say, let me know. It's not spiritual. It's because
think it's the village people.
It's lack of discipline. It's lack of discipline. All right. I resume work for maybe 6:30. Okay. And for 6:30, I leave my house early enough, giving room for any uncertainties to get to work. So we need to build that into our plans and make sure that when we get on the road, we have that shared responsibility to respect one another and stay within the limit.
Beautiful. So what lessons can be learned from real life cases of speed related accident? Because sometimes if you don't paint that picture, if you don't let people know what the consequences, what the tomorrow might be, they might not get the message. So I wonder if you have any examples to share with us.
I think we have renowned people in this country that they lost their whole family in a helicopter crash, right? And the same happens also on the road. So if the person that is listening to me could just close his eyes just for 3 seconds and imagine that he's inside his vehicle with his whole family, going to the mosque or going to the church, going for a wedding, and a reckless driver ram into them, and probably the only person that could make it is what is spinal cord is broken. You know, so unable to walk, and the others are gone. Then you know that this is a serious issue. Okay, it's something that you need to think about. You know, what makes driving, we are so careless about driving because it's a routine activity, right? It's something that we do every day. We do it without thinking, all right? But at times we need to also step back and engage in reflection. That I barely, there was a near miss. I almost messed up there. Okay, I was going to Ikoyi, but I was going to Adeniji, but I was on the inner lane and I barely almost hit the covert.
Oh my God!
So at times we go and give testimony. It's good to thank God for all those mishaps, but we need to reflect that it could have been the other way. And probably who is going to take care of your wife and your children if that person has probably died in that act?
That is a good place to pause, and let's have the last traffic update.
All right, you're still listening to Safety Train here on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Adenuga, would you please confirm to me what's going on around Ifako? I insist. I would like to know at this time. It's fast building up. I cannot say for sure what's going on, and I cannot say where the backlog is, but I know that it's a lot better pushing further inward the target, though you have to slow down a bit for bus-stop activities. But then let me also tell you that Ojota is still very free inward the interchange and back to the Yalaru. Awolowo is still also looking very good. But note that on Latif Jakonde, you have a couple of alternation points you need to be mindful of. Wemco intersection is one area you cannot ignore at this time. It's really slow around that area due to alternation, but traffic managers are there doing the needful.
Thank you very much. And now we're at the home stretch of the Safety Train this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. My guest remains Akinfe Samuel, and of course, I am the Safety Amazon Fayo Williams. And Akinfe Sam has just intimated me now of one humongous fine. So I want to link it with my final question. You know, how do policymakers, and road safety organizations collaborate to reduce speeding incidents? This issue of penalties. What is the role of us, establishing these penalties? Do they work? What else can we tell the policymakers, and how can we make the road safety organizations work hand in hand with them to make things better?
So like I said, the first rule should be, let's construct our roads, that's the engineering aspect, such that vehicles speeding can be moderated. That is number one. Number two is the education aspect of it, where you create awareness for people, to know that how bad and how dangerous speeding is. All right. Then when you are talking about the enforcement, which is, you put some, because in Lagos, for example, if you are caught speeding or going over the limit, it's 100,000 naira or 1 year imprisonment or both.
100,000. In this economy. Oga, loud it again.
So the 100,000, believe you, is above the minimum wage, right?
It's above the minimum wage.
It's above the minimum
wage. Wage how many months to pay this 100,000? People of Lagos, I think you should just be going slowly now.
One more by journey.
Exactly.
So and I think many of the times this figure is just to act as a deterrent, right? It's not that okay, we want to make money off you. So if they see it as a form of deterrent, then every one of us will work within the result, because not just 100,000, it could also be 1 year imprisonment.
Wow.
Or both. Yeah.
My gosh.
Yeah. So it could be both, depending on how what the law court says, even about the evidence that is made available. Maybe it's not a false offender. Maybe the person has been has been caught severally.
Repeating it. So finally, look at communities like Residents Association.
Yeah.
What kind of initiative should they be bringing up now?
So for resident associations, because we all are involved in this.
Yes.
When we meet, maybe we have our monthly or quarterly meeting. You can share.
Something.
Okay, you don't only share about security. You also share about safety, which is road safety also.
Safety
Because,
well.
like I said, road speed limit is not a target you must meet. Oh, it is 100 kilometers per hour. It's
Therefore,
not something.
let me meet it.
Let me meet it.
Beyond
If
that.
the environment, if your your vehicle is not in order,
If it's
you are not
raining,
feeling too well, it's raining, the weather is bad, the road is not in good condition, then you need to apply appropriate speed.
All right. That's a good place to wrap it up this beautiful afternoon. My name remains Fayo Williams. I'm across social media at Fayo Williams is my handle on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. This program is created with the support of Rely Supply Limited, providers of first aid boxes and training. For more details on how to promote your brand to over 15 million listeners on radio and get our valuable road safety services, you can contact 0818 1313156. I'll say that again. 0818 1313156. We can't wait to have you. Till I come your way again, it's via con Dios, which means go with God.